So physio update from today. Honestly, not much. Like, just worked on the scar, more mobilization. Basically got the full range of motion in the shoulder and in elbow flexion. It's an elbow extension that there's like literally no range. Like it blocks, the movement is blocked like instantly because of where the muscle flap is, and it's still like really stiff. Wrist is also gaining range of motion, but we're not like fully there yet. But noticed that taking the sling off, the cast off at work today, like actually helped, because then nothing was pressing on the scar. So we're gonna basically continue that way, like no cast, see how it goes. So today was pretty positive for that. I've also emailed like an update to my surgeon and sent him pictures of like what the scar looks like, because there's also like a new bruise, and I'm like, why is there a bruise 1 month after the surgery? Like, I didn't hit my arm or anything, so I'm a bit like concerned. In other news, as if this injury wasn't enough, I've also been having like hip problems for a long time. I actually have a labrum tear in my hip, which is like a footballer or dancer injury. So I have no idea how I got that, because like, yeah, I play a bit of football, but like not much. Like my sport is tennis. So I have a labrum tear on my right side, and like I'm quite lucky because it doesn't really hurt day to day. It only hurts like when I walk a lot, or like when I do kicking movements or like sprints and stuff like that. So obviously if I can't get back to tennis, like this is a pretty problematic issue. And so I'm gonna try and get like a steroid injection in my hip, like anti-inflammatory, like over the next few weeks probably. Because that's what my doctor said would potentially help. And as if that wasn't enough, I also have like IT band syndrome. All of this is on the right side. Like, does anyone want to just like give me their right side of their body? Because mine's just like broken. But basically it's pain on the outside of the knee, and it's like really common in runners, and it's like when the IT band like rubs against the knee because of weakness in the hips and glutes. So you know, like this elbow problem, this nerve problem, it was more pronounced on my right side, which is like, you know, the injury I'm dealing with right now. But I have the same problem on the left arm. It's like a genetic thing. Apparently 10% of the population has the ulnar nerve that like gets trapped, but it doesn't really reveal itself unless it's in people who do repetitive movements. So for example, like from tennis, or people who type a lot, or got like God knows what. But yeah, so obviously I use my right arm more, so it got worse on that side, but I'm also getting similar symptoms on the left. But I don't think I'm going to have surgery on that, because it was such a nightmare how it went last year. But like I have pretty bad elbow and wrist pain on the left. Like, this is so depressing. So I'm massaging the scar again, because I haven't done it in a while, and the scar's getting all like swollen and lumpy and stuff, which means that we're getting, I don't know what it's called in English, like adherence. Like, it basically is when the skin and like the muscles underneath are getting really like rigid and stuff. So I'm just massaging that. Today I didn't put the sling on at all for the first time since before the surgery. Like, this is the first time I've had a full day with no sling, and the pain definitely didn't worsen. I wouldn't say it improved. Very stable, but I guess that shows that I can just like not wear it. The surgeon also responded to my email saying that the bruising and stuff is normal, just still from the surgery. It's normal that when I press on the skin, it feels like I'm pressing on a nerve sometimes, because he said that the nerve has been moved forward, like it's been transposed, and that should get better with time and physio. So, you know, like, I trust him. Like, if he'd been worried, he would have asked to actually see me, like have an appointment. So I guess that's like good news, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm still getting like the symptoms pretty badly. That's the update for today. I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty big scar. Like, it's a lot bigger than last year. Like, there's nothing wrong with scars, but I mean, ideally I wouldn't want to have a massive line down my arm, you know what I mean? yeah, what can you do? If this is what allows me to return to pain-free life, then, you know, it's worth it. But right now that hasn't happened yet, so I'm not feeling too positive about this scar. So I'm going to continue doing this for a bit, and I will update you guys tomorrow. So today is my day off from work. I finally had a good night's sleep, which is really important if you're injured, but even like dealing with pain and stuff. Like if you're sleep deprived, the experience of pain is like going to be a lot more heightened. So what am I doing on my day off? I'm watching tennis, of course. It's the French Open at the moment. I love this tournament, so what a shot. Anyway, yeah, I'm just resting today, doing like my daily physio things I need to do. I don't have an appointment until next week. Today, like from watching tennis and stuff, I just really want to be able to play again, and I'm trying to just focus on the moment and not imagine future scenarios, because obviously I can't control that. I've had the idea of like finding photos and like newspaper clips and things like that just online of like athletes who've had their career like kind of ruined by an injury but then ended up sort of coming back, or people who sort of had a breakthrough really late on in their career, and just like inspiring things like that. I feel like I want to make like a mood board or like a collage or something that I can just look at if I need motivation, or just, you know, just for some good vibes, because there's a lot of really positive, inspiring stories. Like for some reason, especially in tennis, I guess it's because it's like an individual sport, I guess it's even more impressive, like because everything is down to you technically. So yeah, I think I'm going to try and do that. Making a collage with one hand might be a bit tricky, but I'm up for the challenge. So I've just been continuing with the physio movements and scar massage every day, twice a day. I'm not going to lie to you, it's really boring, but I can see some very slight improvements in the sense that I'm gaining strength in my fingers again. I actually managed to turn on the stove today. Big win. I'm just able to use my fingers a bit more, which is nice. I can't fully extend the arm, still in a lot of burning pain. Like, I'm getting so impatient, but just trying to keep reminding myself that, you know, just trust the process. So yeah. Whenever there's a Grand Slam tournament on, like I get so excited about it and like motivated, but then at the same time it makes me like even more frustrated, because I just so desperately want to be able to like play tournaments again and like be in that competitive atmosphere. And, like at this point it's like I'm not even at a state where I don't have pain, just like day-to-day life. So it's really like I've spoken about this so many times before, but it's hard to just like suddenly not feel this way. But like I'm just so scared I'm not going to be able to return to doing the things I love. Like it scares me so much, but you know, like I've just got to focus on the things I can control and take it like one day at a time, because all these scenarios, you know, either positive or negative, that I'm creating in my mind, like it's completely pointless because they haven't happened yet and I can't predict it. Like, it's so depressing. I was watching tennis this evening and I was like watching the guys like serve 1,000 times in one match, and then they play matches like pretty much every day, and I'm like, how does the shoulder just like not like die and just get destroyed? It's like, I just don't understand it. And like I view my body as this super fragile thing. Like I just wish I could stop having this fear, and also if I could stop having this pain. And like I'm so frustrated. Like, if you know me, you'll know that like there's nothing I love to do more than just like play competitive sport. So to have had that taken away from me for the best part of the last 4 years has been like, it's grief. Like it really is like grieving the death of someone. You grieve yourself as a tennis player, at least in my case, and then, you know, you obviously grieve the sport, like, and your passion, like you can't do it anymore, at least temporarily, you know, and you lose a bit of your identity. Like in my case, it was a huge part of my identity. So yeah, it's just like, it's such a difficult thing. And like I know, you know, in the grand scheme of things, like it's not a real problem, but just because, you know, like there's no danger that can come from not being able to play tennis. But in terms of how important the sport has been to me my whole life, like it's been so tough mentally. And I really just hope I can just like, you know, get through this and look back on this and like these videos and think, wow, like that was shit, but like I made it through, you know, so fingers crossed. Physio time for the first time in like 4 days. Excited to see what we get up to this week. Dare I say it, I just had a pretty positive update. Just the physio session went really well. I noticed a big difference in my pain, like in the burning. It was basically not there during the session, which is really good news. Even though we worked quite hard on like strengthening hand and fingers and stuff and mobilizing, so I'm feeling really happy about that. It's going in the right direction. I've had to order like something called TheraPutty, which is basically like putty that you use to like you squeeze it into shapes to kind of strengthen your hand, get the finger coordination back. So that should be arriving tomorrow. Feel happy today. It's the first sort of positive update in a while. It could just be that I hadn't had physio in a while, so the nerve was less irritated, but I don't really care about the reason. The good thing is that there was less pain, so taking that as a win. So the TheraPutty has arrived. This is what it looks like. It comes in a little box, little container, and it's got all the different sort of resistance levels. And this is the red one, so it's soft. Before that we have X soft and XX soft, and then medium firm and X firm. It's very sophisticated, all of this. Let's try and open it with one hand. Ooh, some of it's already stuck. Oh, it's gotten all over my laptop. So I assume you grab it out of its container. There we go. And you basically squat it. So this is my left, this is my good arm. And I'm supposed to sort of grab it with my right hand and just kind of squeeze. My physio was like, oh, just squeeze it into a ball, like to kind of give you an aim, you know, so that you're not just aimlessly trying to just, I don't know, you know, it makes it a bit more fun, but I mean, as fun as this can be. Oh my gosh, the early stages of rehab is just so like, it's so dull, you know, but I'm happy because I can do this and it's not really triggering any burning. So that's a good sign. Look at that. Isn't that such an even ball? Oops. So yeah, I'm gonna end this week's vlog here as I continue to squeeze this. I will be, honestly, I'm gonna keep doing these weekly. I know they're not very interesting, but for me, like, it helps me a lot to do these. It keeps me accountable. It helps me keep track of the rehab, see what's happening each week, see what's the problem each week. And, you know, as a little side thing, it helps me learn video editing. So, but yeah, hopefully next week we'll have progressed maybe like a little bit in physio, and we'll keep being on an upwards trajectory, like pain-wise, mobility-wise, and yeah, I genuinely do feel like this is going better than last year, so I'm really feeling positive but keeping fingers crossed. But yeah, bye.